What's up, Interweb? RhyQuinn here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my Week 1 team analysis for PPL Division 2 Season 2, my third season in the PPL. I'm excited for this. We've got our Week 1 team analysis. I am doing this quite a bit in advance. Well, me and Jack are actually battling in advance. Because today is the 24th of January, and the battle's not being uploaded till the 10th of February, but that's not the point. I'm doing my team analysis now anyway, because I've got my team ready, and we're going to be battling in a couple of days, so why not, right? So let's get into it. Obviously, because this is the first game of the season, there's no updates about the league table or the Golden Pokeball Award that you need to be aware of. Golden Pokeball Award, by the way, I should probably say, is the replacement for the MVP race this season, and it is just judging the amount of Pokemon that get the most kills in the season. So that is kind of the equivalent of like the Golden Boot in football. That's where we're basing things off with that. So that's just the best offensive mon, the one who gets the most kills in the season, essentially. So yeah. Let's get into the team analysis for Week 1. So, in Week 1, we are playing Jack Electric Storm 252, manager of the Melbourne Victory Star. Yeah. And both of us actually ended up with a team of 11 after the draft. We have a full squad of 11, both of us do. So, that should be pretty interesting. So, the lineup, the team matchup. Let's have a look, see what potential ones both of us can be bringing. I guess both teams will just appear on the screen about now, I guess? I don't know. So my team, Nidoqueens Park Rangers, is Sylveon, Hippowdon, Shaman, Slowking, Fortress, Hitmonlee, Stoutland, Rotom, Weezing, Pyroar, and Mega Absol. Now, Jack Melbourne Victory Star has, or can potentially be bringing, Victini, Starmie, Togekiss, Tyrantrum, Raikou, Superior, Licky, Gourgeist, Frostlass, Piloswine, and Throw. That's his potential squad. Now, a couple of things that I noticed straight off the bat. I'm bringing Mega Absol. You guys can see at the bottom of the screen, you can see the biggest threats on each side, and my biggest threat for him is Mega Absol. He has Victini, Starmie, Frostlass, and Gourgeist, all of which are weak to Mega Absol's stab. He has no switch-ins to a knockoff outside of two Pokemon, that being Throw and Togekiss, both of which I can pack super effective coverage to hit both of them. So Mega Absol can put in the work this match. I just have to play it right, and I really hope I can. So yeah, Mega Absol I know is going to be my biggest asset in this match, absolutely. On his side, Victini, biggest threat to my team. I can handle most things on his team. Not all of them, but I can handle most of them in some way or another. Victini, on the other hand, is going to be a big problem. I've got a couple of things in place to try and deal with it, but the fact is I can prep for, you know, a Scarfter, a banded physical Victini, and he can bring a special one and just sweep me. So I've had to prep for a physical one and a special one just in case, because that Victini is going to cause me massive problems. I'm going to have to try and scout, find out what kind of Victini it is, what item he's packing, and what moves he's got before I can start making my plays around that thing. So it's going to be very difficult to try and scout that Victini out, but I'm going to do my best. So, let's get into the teams. Well, let's get into the team, that I'm bringing to this week against Jack and the Melbourne Victory Star. Now, the first one, as I said, I knew I was going to bring is Mega Absol. Red Bull the Mega Absol. This is obviously holding the Absolite, and it has 252 EVs in attack, 252 in speed, 4 in defense, with a jolly nature, with Sucker Punch, Knockoff, Play Rough, and Stone Edge. Now, this was a toss-up on Mega Absol. I was debating between 3 dark moves, Sucker Punch, Knockoff, and Pursuit. Now, Pursuit can be really nice, especially against this team, with Victini, Starmie, Gourgeist, and Frostlass. He's probably not going to want to be staying in, and I can Pursuit trap any single one of them. In theory, that's really cool. However, the Pursuit trapping is so obvious in my eyes. Pursuit trapping any of those mons is so blatantly obvious that I can 100% see him packing Colbur Berries on at least one of those things. To take a Pursuit, stay in, take a Pursuit, and then he can just kill Mega Absol with any of them. That's the problem with Mega Absol. for this week is that the Pursuit Trap is so obvious because there's so many potential mons I can Pursuit Trap that I feel like it is so blatantly obvious that it's going to happen that he's just going to see it coming, he'll pack a Culver Berry, and then he can just take out my Mega Absol with pretty much any single one of them. So that's the reason I'm not packing Pursuit, because it's so obvious. But I am packing Sucker Punch and Knock Off. Now I have 252 EVs in speed with a Jolly Nature, which means at worst I am going to be speed tying with his quickest mon outside of Scarfed mons. His quickest mons are Raikou and Starmie, both at base 115. Mega Absol after Mega Evolving is base 115 as well, so at worst I'll be speed tying with those guys. And if he's not max speed, I'll be outspeeding them, which means I can fire off knockoffs. What's great about this is, like I said before, he has no switch-ins for a knockoff outside of Togekiss and Throw. Togekiss I can hit up with a Stone Edge, Throw I can hit up with a Play Rough. Now a physically defensive Throw does not get 2-hit KO'd by Play Rough, although it does after Stealth Rocks. It has a chance to after Stealth Rocks, so I definitely want to get Rocks up as soon as I can. I want to start wearing his team down, and I want Mega Absol to put in the work. I'm going to have to try and scout, find out what potential Scarfed mons he has, because again, those are going to be outspeeding Mega Absol, aside from Sucker Punch, you know, of course. But that's something I'm going to have to try and scout out, see what's going on with that. I can potentially see him bringing a Scarfed Togekiss. That could very much be a thing, because obviously it resists my priority, that being Sucker Punch, and it means that he can hit me with super effective stab, he can outspeed me, all that stuff. So I'm going to have to try and catch that Togekiss on the switch. I feel like I'm going to have to try and catch that on the switch, get a Stone Edge against it, or he might just preserve that Togekiss and try and get a clean switch into it. We'll have to see. But that is Red Bull the Mega Absol, there to just run through his team, hopefully, with enough wearing down, with enough chip damage here and there. I'm hoping that Mega Absol can just put in the work for this match. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So that's Red Bull. That's the first one on the team. The second one on the team is Lobster the Shaman, holding the Assault Vest. With 248 EVs in HP, max special attack, 4 in special defense, and 4 in speed. Now, with a modest nature as well, with Air Slash, Seed Flare, Hidden Power, Ice, and Earth Power. Now, this Shaman. One thing that I found was a big problem for my team is Superior, because of that contrary Leaf Storm that it has. I can have something that's specially defensive. It can switch into a Leaf Storm, sure, but once he gets to +2, if he's packing coverage for that Pokemon, whether it be like a Hidden Power or something like that, it's not a switch anymore and it'll die. After a Leaf Storm and that +2 hit from whatever move he may have for it, it's not a safe switch. The only thing that I found on my team that can actually switch into a Superior is an Assault Vest Shaman. Now I could have gone full bulk on this one, I could have gone max specially defensive with an Assault Vest. Didn't feel like it was wholly necessary on this one because I do want to be able to hit back pretty damn hard. I want to be able to scare out that Superior, and if he doesn't switch out, he is going to die. That's the plan anyway. So yeah, this is essentially what Shaman's there for. It's there to just tank hits, be a wall for Superior, because Shaman can take a Leaf Storm at neutral, and then a +2 Hidden Power Ice if he's packing it. It can take that very comfortably, and I can respond with an Air Slash, which will do a huge amount of damage. And if that thing's Life Orb, it is going to be worn down very, very quickly, especially with Stealth Rock damage and all that stuff. It's going to be good. And then, of course, if it gets worn down enough, I can just bring in Mega Absol, I just Sucker Punch, and I kill it. So, as long as it gets a little bit worn down, I'm happy. Also have the other moves as well. Seed Flare is just good for good. It hits the Piloswine, it hits Starmie, plus, you know, it has that 40% chance to lower the opponent's special defense by 2 stages, so things that might want to switch in won't be able to after taking those special defense drops, so we'll have to play that one by ear. But Seed Flare is just great stab to have. I have Hidden Power Ice. Now, why do I have Hidden Power Ice? Because it hits the likes of Togekiss and Gourgeist, which are the most likely switch-ins to a Seed Flare on his team. Yeah, there's two main switch-ins are going to be either Togekiss or Gourgeist, and I can hit them with super effective damage. It may not be doing that much, Hidden Power Ice, but it's nice coverage. It hits them super effectively, and it will do more than a Seed Flare would. So, yeah, just got that for the Togekiss and the Gourgeist. And then I have Earth Power because it hits most other things. It hits Victini, it hits Tyrantrum, it hits Raikou. It just does some nice work to the team. And Raikou was another thing that Shaymin can just switch into pretty freely. Assault Vest Shaymin can take a lot of hits from Raikou, and it can respond back with an Earth Power, which will be very, very nice indeed. So yeah, that is... I would fully expect HP Ice on Raikou to deal with Hippowdon, which would be the most likely switch in ground. It would be the most likely electric immunity on my team to switch into a Raikou. So I'd expect HP Ice, which is obviously super effective against Shaymin as well, but we'll deal with it. So yeah, that is Lobster the Shaymin. They're mainly to counter the Superior, but can also take other special hits on the team as well, for example from Raikou, and Starmie as well. It does a very nice check to Starmie. So the third one on the team. I knew I wanted a bit of pace on this one. So I've gone with Michaels the Hitmonlee, holding the White Herb with Unburden. 4 EVs in HP, max attack, 4 in defense, 248 in speed with an adamant nature, knockoff, close combat, poison jab, and Mach Punch. So the idea here is to fire off a close combat, get the defense and special defense drops that come with close combat. The White Herb activates, I get back to neutral on the defenses, and I've got rid of my item, so Unburden puts me at ×2 speed, and I am Sonic Quick Hitmonlee. Now, if you look at Jack's team, at the Melbourne Victory Star, his priority on his team is Shadow Sneak Gourgeist and Ice Shard Frostlass. And Ice Shard Piloswine. I think that's it. Yep. So, that's not the strongest priority ever. Coming from... Piloswine has a decent attack stat, but I don't expect him to be invested in attack. Gourgeist is... Again, it has a big attack stat, but again, I don't expect it to be invested in that attack stat. And Frostlass is more likely going to be a special attacker, so Ice Shard is a bit questionable whether he's going to bring it or not. So that's the priority on his team. If I get to Unburden on Hitmonlee, I can take those hits, especially if he's not invested, and I can just fire off close combats against his entire team, or knock off against Frostlass, because it's his only Ghost type. Close combat is definitely something I wanted for the Licky Licky, and it just hits everything so hard. Combination of close combat and knockoff just hits everything super hard, apart from Togekiss, which is why I've got Poison Jab. That is exclusively there for the Togekiss. It doesn't hit anything else in his team, but I don't need it to. Close combat and knockoff does everything else, aside from Raikou and Superior, which still can't take it anyway after Rocks. After Rocks, an Adamant close combat still does a huge amount of damage, and if he's not invested, that'll probably be taking those things out. So like I said, if I get that Unburden, Hitmonlee can put in the work. I just need to find the right thing to get it in against, so I can fire off a close combat. That's pretty much it. So that could potentially be another sweeper. If Mega Absol isn't going to do the work, maybe Hitmonlee can. But the next one on the team is something that I've got in place to deal with that Victini. Now, obviously, my team so far does not deal with Victini in any way, shape, or form, so I needed to change that, and I wanted something to be able to deal with a physical Victini. So, we are bringing Beercy the Stoutland with the leftovers with Intimidate. 248 in HP, 4 in attack, 252 in defense, and 4 in speed with an Impish nature, Thunderwave, Crunch, Roar, and Return. That's the moveset on this Stoutland, on Beercy. Now, Stoutland itself is not going to be hitting many things super effectively, but it is exclusively there to deal with Victini, a physical Victini. It can switch in to a non-banded V-Create just fine, and if it is banded, that's okay, because that means Mega Absol outspeeds it, which is fantastic. So that's essentially what Stoutland's there for. It's there to switch into the Victini and to find out what set it is. Because I can gauge from the damage what kind of set it is. The most damaging move he can use against me is V-Create. He can try and go for Brick Break if he wants, but it does laughable damage to Stoutland here. And I can respond, I can Thunder Wave that thing and make it slow, I can Crunch it for super effective damage. If he has any kind of potential setup with Tyrantrum going, I can come in and I can Intimidate it and roar it out, because I don't want to be dealing with the Tyrantrum that's set up, because that is scary. So I just didn't want to be dealing with that whatsoever. So that's why I've got Roar. And also Return is just nice stab. coming from, you know, base 110 attack, it's still going to be doing a decent amount of damage, even when I'm not invested in attack. I just got 4 in speed in case he wants to try and speed creep. Stoutland has base 80 speed, so does Togekiss. Tyrantrum could be speed crept to outspeed Stoutland, so, you know, it's just there just in case if someone wants to get cheeky and try and speed creep. At the worst, it's going to be a speed tie with him. Just in case, you never know. And at worst, that means if he's an uninvested Togekiss, it means my Stoutland will be outspeeding it and I can fire for a return against it, which would be nice. It means he can't flinch me, unless he T-Waves me first, but that's not the point. Maybe I can T-Wave him, and then I'll be outspeeding, then he can't flinch me. Easy. So yeah, that's mainly what the Stoutland's there for. I have Crunch pretty much only for the Victini. But also because Dark does very well against his team. Like I said, he has no switch-ins aside from Throw and Togekiss, and that's it. Obviously, Throw is going to be a great switch-in to Stoutland, but good thing about Throw, has no reliable recovery outside of, you know, Rest. So, if I can wear that thing down, get him in range from a Play Rough from Mega Absol, or an Air Slash from Shaman or something like that, that'll be cool. So that is BSC the Stoutland. The next one, the 5th one on the team, is Sylvie off the Sylveon, with the leftovers, with Pixelate of course, with 248 in HP, 4 in special attack, 252 in special defense, and 4 in speed. Now it's that 4 in speed again, in case of speed creeps and things like that. Calm Nature, and I've got Wish, Hyper Voice, Shadow Ball, and Toxic. Now, this Sylveon is here to deal with a special Victini. If he has a special Victini, Sylveon can deal with it no problem. If it's a physical one, it's Stoutland. If it's special, Sylveon is the way forward. Sylveon is going to be there. Even if he brings a physical Victini, Sylveon is not useless in this match because it is there to wish into other mons. It's there to keep Stoutland healthy, if I can. Because Stoutland doesn't have any recovery of its own outside of leftovers. So I wanted a way to try and keep that thing healthy. Hyper Voice does a really, really good amount to his team. He has... Let me look down the list here. He has no resistances to a Hyper Voice, which is originally why I wanted to bring Specs, but I couldn't justify it when I already had Hitmonlee, I already had Mega Absol, and I wanted a way to deal with a special Victini, and Sylveon was the best way to do that. So, yeah. Hyper Voice is going to be really nice for his team. It's a very spammable move. And I also do have... Sorry. He has Victini to resist the Hyper Voice, which is why I have Shadow Ball. That's why I have Shadow Ball in the next move. So yeah, his only resistance to Hyper Voice is Victini, which I can Shadow Ball, which is fine. And I also have Toxic to try and wear things down a bit more. Again, get him in range to where Mega Absol can just Sucker Punch everything, or, you know, just outspeed and just clean everything up. Again, same with Hitmonlee, can maybe clean up if things are worn down enough. I'm probably going to regret not having Protect on this Sylveon. I know I'm going to want it at some point, and I'm not going to have it, and it's going to upset me, but I felt like the other moves were far more important, and I feel like with the mons that I'm going to be in against, Sylveon can take the hits no problem. I'm not going to be staying in against physical threats. It's only going to be there to take special hits, and with special hits, Sylveon can take pretty much any one from his team, and I can Wish, and I can get that Wish without Protect if I need it. Outside of crits, of course, because screw those things. But that's what I feel like this Sylveon is there for. And what's good about... what's bad about Victini is if he brings a mix set, it's going to be a little bit iffy, because I don't really have much that can take on both sides of Victini, but hopefully if he's bringing a mixed one, that means with the investment he's going to have to try and distribute between the two stats, it'll be easier to deal with one than the other. You know what I mean? There's going to be some way for me to exploit that Victini. If he's not fully invested in one stat, then my mons can take one hit from either side. So we'll have to play that one by ear and we'll have to see. If it means sacking something off and bringing in Mega Absol, then that's okay. If he's a Scarf Victini and he goes for a V-Create, he's at -1 speed. Mega Absol still outspeeds anyway, so that's okay. So yeah, that's what I need to do with that one. So that's what Sylveon's there for, Special Wall. And the last mon on the team is a mon that I've wanted to bring in this kind of role for a long time, but I'd never found the opportunity in Season 1 to do so, so now I'm going to do it anyway. The last mon on this team is Gloria the Hippowdon, holding the Expert Belt, with Sand Force, 228 in HP, 252 in attack, 28 in speed with an Adamant Nature, with Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Iron Head, and Crunch. This is a physically offensive Hippowdon. Now, I don't have much in the way of special offense on this team. I have Shaman, but in terms of physical offense, I've got Absol, Mega Absol, I've got Hitmonlee, and I've got Hippowdon. I'm packing the physical attackers on this one, which might be a bad call because he does have certain things to deal with that, like Gourgeist and Tyrantrum and Throw, but I felt like it was the best thing to do. Now, Hippowdon can put in the work against his team. Again, with help from Sylveon, hopefully, being able to keep Hippowdon healthy, he can take pretty much any one hit, and he can respond with a very, very strong hit against anything. Earthquake hits Victini, Tyrantrum, Raikou. Iron Head hits Togekiss, Frostlass, and Piloswine. Crunch hits Starmie, and Gourgeist, of course, hits Victini as well, but I'd rather hit an Earthquake on that thing. So the only things I don't hit super effectively are going to be Superior, Licky Licky, and Throw. Again, Throw is going to be a bit of a problem. Physically defensive Throw, which I 100% expect, because that is his best switch into a knockoff from Mega Absol. Fully expected physically defensive Throw. The only real things I have to hit that are going to be the Air Slash on Shaman and the Hyper Voice on Sylveon. So I'm hoping, with Throw being slower than Sylveon, I can fire off a Hyper Voice against it. That'd be nice. And I'm hoping with a distinct lack of reliable recovery on Throw, I'll be able to wear that thing down and I can hopefully take it out, which will just allow Mega Absol to clean up. But aside from that as well, we'll also help all the other mons on my team as well. I hope Hippowdon, because switch-ins to Hippowdon after Throw's gone are minimal. He doesn't really have too much. They can take too many hits from Hippowdon, and again, the stuff that can take the hits doesn't have reliable recovery. The only real things on his team that do have reliable recovery, that being Starmie and Togekiss. I think that's it on his team that has reliable recovery. They're not going to want to take an Iron Head or a Crunch. So Hippowdon I feel like can do a decent amount, and it's still relatively bulky as well. What's going to be nice is against the Tyrantrum, because I can take any one hit from that thing. I resist its, main stab, that being Head Smash, and I can take a Dragon Claw no problem because I'm a Hippowdon, damn it. And I can respond with a Stab Earthquake with Expert Belt boosted, and it does a lot of damage. And after that, it's going to be in Sucker Punch range from Mega Absol, so that's always good. That's basically what I need this team to do. Just wear everything down to the point where everything's in range from a Sucker Punch from Mega Absol, and then just bring it in and just Sucker Punch the world and win, hopefully. So that's my team for week 1 of PPLD2 Season 2. I hope you guys like this team, and I'll be seeing you guys in the match, which should be uploaded tomorrow, that being the 10th. Wednesday. Today should be Tuesday if I've uploaded this on the correct day. It might be Monday, I don't know. I haven't decided when I'm uploading this yet. Like I said, it's the 24th of January right now, so I'm a bit in advance. But that's not the point. Yeah, so I hope this team leads me to my first victory of the season, and I hope it's going to continue a lot of wins for the season. And I hope you guys like this team, and I shall see you guys in the match. Toodaloo.